Well, my favorite physics class, but I'm not here today. So I want to tell you what you guys will be working on. It's Mrs. Liang will be your sub. She's a teacher here from the past many years' experience. You guys are going to be having today your last day, the last full day to work on MCARs. The contest is Wednesday, and I've been trying to get some stuff ready so you'll have success today. First of all, I've made some more hubs for your CDs if you decide to use a CD hub system. You may remember that we have this thing called an arbor press here, where you can put with a little washer there, and then you put the CD down on it, and when you press without putting your fingers in there, it ends up putting the hub right in the middle of the CD. And then you need to, of course, add the wooden thing. I've cut a few more wooden axles if you need those. And we should have plenty of that stuff without people running out, as long as you don't let them fall on the ground and leave them there. I've also cut some axle stops. I took some tie-gun tubing like this and cut, I guess, 100 or so of these axle stops. And they, I think, work better than the black rubber. And you don't need to have 4 of them per axle. If you take a look at this axle, it's spinning nicely, and it only has 2 of them. If you look, you can see how they can't go left or right because the 2 on the outside keep it from going either way. So that way you can cut your axle stop number in half. Now, I've also cut a bunch of wooden screw eye holders in case your mousetrap is getting kind of tired by this point. And I bought some more. I bought out all of the screw eyes in Fresno. And they will go in pretty well. I've already pre-drilled some holes like this. So all you have to do is, by hand, just start it like that. And then as you go in, it just goes in as much as you want. Now once you get this onto your mousetrap, or if you decide to put it on a paint stick like this, then what you have to do is worry about steering. Now if you look closely at this, I think you can see that one of the eye screws is in farther than the other. And what that means is, of course, the car is going to turn because the 2 axles are not, parallel to each other. In an extreme case, if the axles were like that, your car would take a turn like that. So what you have to do is just look at your car and see if they're parallel or not. If they're not, take out the axle and just tighten up the one that you need to. And you can kind of look and see if the same number of threads are showing above the wood, or if both of them, like in this case, are down to the wood, then you should have something that's pretty close to parallel, like that. That's an easy way to help with your steering. Of course, when you hot glue it down, if you hot glue it down crooked, then you're going to have to adjust accordingly. You may want to use a little one of these black balls for your front wheel. It's lighter than any other combination of CDs or whatever. And what you need to do is grab a standard Super Grande paper clip, put the ball through the paper clip, and when you put your glasses on, you can see what you're doing. And that's a pretty low friction, but it's going to fall off. So then take a small needle nose plier like this and bend it at a sharp 90 degree on one side, and then bend it on the other side. See the way it doesn't, you can grip it pretty close to the ball so the ball doesn't flop back and forth. Then if you go like so, you now have a front wheel, and you can figure out a way to attach it to your car. What I've done with this car is I've gone around a screw like that, and then I just have it taped on the top. So if you take off the tape, you see how you can steer your car left and right like that, and then put the tape on when you have it in a nice straight direction. Hope you guys can see all that. Okay, next on, oh, yes. I found out that it's kind of tricky to wind up your car, but it's not that tough if you use a simple method like this. When you have your car and the string is around the back axle and it goes to the front like this, then as you start to pull this wire thing, which is called a bail, as you start to pull that back, it starts to lift up the bail. But if you just take your car and wind it backwards, like that, and then go back and wind it backwards again, see how the car itself is winding up the string. And that, I think, will save you some headaches from trying to get it all to move without having everything fall apart. So it winds itself up, and then of course you just set up the catch on the front, and then when you're ready to go, you just push it back as far as it'll go, and that's your starting line. That means the string is tight, and then when you touch it, you'll be off and running. Now, what I've discovered is that you don't need to worry about whether or not you have small wheels like this or large wheels like this, the CD. They both will not skid because of this rubber mat that I found at home. I got a bunch of this stuff. It's just, carpet on the back and rubber on this side, and it's pretty grippy. So friction is your friend in this case, and this provides enough friction that a car that has rubber band wheels like this, or else just a CD with no rubber band, because you couldn't fit a rubber band, they both don't skid at all. And that way you won't have to go with this complicated thing that I did with this big long lever, which you may want to do. But if you want to go with a big long lever like that, or to change from small wheels to CD wheels, or any major modification, look out, because you're not going to have any class time after today to work on that. If you want to do that, that's cool. Just be sure to take your car home or come in and work at it at school outside of class time, because you won't have any class time after today to work on cars. I guess that's about it. Yes, the contest is Wednesday. On Tuesday, we're going to be cleaning up the egg drop mess, which you can see is still here. And we're also going to be talking about the big physics lab write-up, the paper for this entire MCAR project, which is a big one, the biggest one of the year, obviously. And I want you to know something about where you're going before the contest happens, so you can be kind of aware of how things are during the contest and file that away and make your paper better. Any questions? The only question I have is, do you realize that you don't actually need to use a hammer for this thing? This is the expander for the eye bolts. Turns out that all you have to do, I just found this out, is just lean on it pretty hard, and it'll just go from being tight to having that little gap there. I hope you can see that. So the hammer's kind of fun, but you don't even need a hammer to do that. So I'm pretty sure we have all the equipment we're going to need, and I hope that you have a very productive day. The contest will probably be in this room, but feel free to go out in the hall, and I will be providing a bunch of these rubber mats so you can practice on a surface that will be the same surface you'll be having for the contest. See you tomorrow. Where's the off button on this dumb thing?